Hello, welcome to Meditation Nerd and to day 3 of the Vibrational Unwinding, where addictive patterns and behavior has been the focus for the last 3 days. So today is where we will um, wrap up our 3-day deep dive, I guess you could say, into any potential addictive patterns, addictive behaviors that we have. My avatar is staring off into some other space. Just gonna let her do that. Okay, so before I give a breakdown of what we're doing, let's go ahead and tune in. Rub your palms together, either soften your gaze or close your eyes. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, exhale. And we will tune in with the Adi mantra Om Namo Guru Dev Namo, repeated 3 times. Inhale to begin. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale, hold the breath, pull the root lock. Go ahead and exhale. I'm being guided to do one more chant, so feel free to join me or just listen. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. And then I'm going to go ahead and inhale, hold my breath, pull my root lock for anyone that's following along. And exhale. Okay, go ahead and give your hands a bit of a shake. All right, are we still? Yes. Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure my laptop cannot handle the weight of these practices along with the avatar. Okay, so she might, no, she's sort of moving. Okay, so the flow today is we're gonna start with the traditional Kriya. We're gonna be doing 5 minutes for each section. So we're gonna go from the traditional um, Kundalini yoga meditation, then we're gonna move into the EFT tapping with the mantra. Then we're going to have a silent reflection. Again, all of these are 5 minutes. Then today we're going to seal with the Ad Gurena Me mantra, and we're going to do that for 3 minutes. So there's 2 options for that one, which I'll provide you at the end before we move into that. Now I have dropped both of the links for the mantra in order of use in the description. So we're going to be starting with the normal Chakravarti, which is in the description, and then below it is the Ad Gurena. Now, if I've selected options that you don't really feel are appropriate for you, please feel free to use one that you do along with the tapping that we're doing. So if you need to adjust the mantra that we're using, your intuition is guiding you to something different, please honor where you're at, honor where your intuition is guiding you. Okay, these are suggestions for you based on what I'm doing. Okay, so please feel free to listen to your own guidance as far as if you need to adapt, if you need to adjust, if at any point you need to shorten, you need to step away. Again, always honor where you are. I'm sharing what I'm doing. Please adapt it to what your intuition is saying. And then what other tweak did we have for today? Okay, I mentioned the 5 minutes. We're starting with traditional tapping and mantra. Okay, and now these sessions are largely guided by the session itself. So each section like speaks through me. I don't necessarily, I have the outline and then I just let the session guide itself, right? Direct me to how it wants to be expressed. So I adapt accordingly. So anytime I pivot, that's what you're seeing. So I'm sharing that with you so that you can apply it to your own practice. Okay, and then just a quick rundown of the traditional for anybody that maybe this is your first time, you just want a refresher. Okay, so again, we're gonna have our hands and fists, light fist, okay, thumbs up. And again, for anyone that the thumbs up is seen as a negative, an insult, etc. That's not how this is meant. Okay, this is just how we're holding our hands. We're going to place them at the little divots at our temples. Again, it's a solid connection, but please do not press really hard into your temple. That's not going to help. It's probably going to hurt. Okay, so you just want a solid connection. Eyes, oh, excuse me. Eyes are closed, focused at the brow point. Now, again, if you need to adapt that, if it gets too intense, you need to pop those beautiful eyes open, soften your gaze, please do so. Always honor where you are, honor where your boundaries are. I'm trusting that you know what those boundaries are and that you're going to follow along with your own guidance, okay? Because you are your ultimate authority. I'm just giving outlines for what I'm doing. Okay, so eyes closed, focus at the brow point, and then silently we're going to be chanting sa, ta, na, ma. Now, when we're not pressing, teeth are still together, okay? You just have your teeth nice and gently together. Then on sa, you press the back teeth together, release, teeth are still together. Ta, we press, na, we press, ma, we press. Okay, so I'll do a couple of rounds out loud just so you can find your own rhythm with how you want to do that. And then, yeah, we're just going to go there. I'm going to do my best not to talk a whole lot throughout. So if there's guidance that pops up that feels like it wants to be expressed, cool, but I'm going to do my best not to be a chatterbox. Oh, also, I was going to mention yesterday after the practice, I noticed that I am entering into the awkward phase where I'm saying things that, are not the best thing to say. I'm sticking my foot in my mouth. I'm being very awkward. I'm saying the things that maybe people are thinking, but nobody's saying out loud. So I'm stepping in it pretty regularly based on these practices, which, based on my own meditative practice and the processes that I've gone through, this is normal. This is part of my own unwinding. Typically, throughout the other meditations that I've had, awkwardness is very much a part of the practice. While it's not widely discussed, it is well documented. So, just in case you're experiencing something similar, I did want to front load this just to reassure you that that is normal. This is the way we reset, right? There's old programming that we're letting go of, necessary when we're dealing with addictive patterns or behaviors, right? We need to unwind that. So I just wanted to let you know in case you're experiencing something similar or you had your own level of tension or agitation that was rising. That was my experience the first day moving into day 2. Then there was awkwardness moving into day 3. So just in case you're experiencing these as well, you are not alone. I'm right there alongside you. So please do not feel anything's wrong or that you're broken or any of those typical what's the word I'm groping for here? That's another part too. My mind kind of just goes doodaloo and it just drifts off on its own. Also, part of my normal healing process, sort of how I clear everything out. There's a space that just doesn't really want to be filled, right? It just wants to be. So, again, just sharing these experiences with you in case you have had similar ones. Again, just a reassurance, you're not alone. If you have not had these experiences, that's perfect too. Okay? Don't feel that you have to have these experiences in order to make progress or anything like that. That's not why I'm sharing. It's just to shout out my own experiences. Feel free to drop your own in the chat as well. Okay, so I wanted to front load that because I didn't want to forget. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and close your beautiful eyes. Bring your focus to the eyebrow point. Bring your thumbs up to and the temples. Got the 5 minutes started. Okay, and then for the, like I said, first couple rounds, I will go ahead and speak it out loud. So bring your beautiful teeth together. Press on sa, release. Press on ta, release. Press on na, release. Press on ma, release. Sa, ta, na, ma. And then we'll just continue silently as we press. My hands are still up. My avatar just does not like to keep both arms up. So I'm right here with you. My avatar is just doing her own thing, reminding us that laughter during meditation is fine as well. Drop those shoulders, relax them. Please don't hold your breath. Remember to keep your breathing deep. She says to remind herself, lower those shoulders. Okay, so I just want to point out here, if you feel some intenseness building and you need to stop and focus on some deep breaths, inhale nice and deep, blow out through your mouth, nice and deep. So if you need to adapt, please do so. Last minute and a half. We got this. We're doing great. Last 30 seconds. We're doing great. She's offering that as a way to keep her own arms up with you. Last round. Okay, perfect. In with the thumbs still where they are. Inhale, hold the breath, pull through, lock. And exhale, slowly lower your arms down. Okay, we're gonna sit for just a moment. Go ahead and roll your shoulders. Give your arms a little bit of a shake. Doesn't be aggressive, can be nice and light. Nothing combative here. It's just simply to roll those muscles, roll the shoulders forward, roll gentle. First one way, then go the other. Okay, now go ahead and pull up the mantra if you haven't already got it pulled up. Okay, and then So I'm going to take a couple minutes, well, not a couple minutes, just a couple moments rather here, just to reiterate. So today I'm going to be starting with the karate chop, and I may be moving back to the collarbone. So just to highlight those two places one more time for anyone that is unfamiliar, or if you just need a refresher. So the karate chop is exactly what it sounds like. So along the edges of the pinky side of the hand, we're going to tap those sides together. So if you hear that little pop, 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 those are the sides of my hands popping together. Now you can use your fingers on one side, change sides, or you can just stick with tapping your fingers on one or the other of the meaty side of your hand. Okay. I prefer to do both. I think that's largely due to other meditations that I've done. I feel like I connect more deeply when I tap both sides together. That's really all. That's can feel a deepening when I do both of them together versus just my fingers. So that's the only reason. There's no specialty in it. Just that's my preference. And then for the collarbones, again, just anyone that needs a reminder. So you're going to bring your middle finger, drop them down to where the top of your middle finger is touching the bottom of your collarbone. We're just going to tap right there. And you'll notice my voice changes when I tap there. So I'm only tapping on the one side. It's not as pronounced as it normally is, but that's where I will typically tap. And then my intuition's kind of guiding me to also acknowledge the underarm. So it's going to be if you bring your hand into your armpit where your pinky falls, going to want to bring your index finger to that spot where your pinky lays when your finger's in your armpit. You're going to tap right there. Anyone that wears a bra is going to be on that thick strap, about the middle top part of the strap where the uh, bra lies, or a tank top, right? Just in that spot right there where the tank top typically will fall. So that's the spot. And then I typically just switch sides. Just feels more balanced to me, is the only reason I go side to. There's no other reason. There's no scientific backing for that I found. That's just personal preference. So feel free to stick to one or the other side, or you can join me in rotating between sides. Okay, so we're starting with Chatur Chakra music. You can soften your gaze or have your eyes open, whichever you feel is best. Chatara chakara varati, chatara chakara bugate, suyamba sapang sare bada sare bajugate, tukalmasi, deyalang sarube, sadayang kasange, abangang bebute. Moving to my collarbone if you'd like to follow. Areti chatara chakara bogate, tulamba sapang sare bada sare bajugate, tukalam pranasi, tealam sarupe, sadayang gasange, abangang bebute. And under the arm. Areti chatara chakara bogate, tulamba Sapang sare beta sare bajugate, tukalam pranasi, tealam sarupe, sadayang kasanget, abangam vute. Chatara chakara varati, chatara chakara bhogate, suyamba sapang sare beta sare bajugate, tukalam pranasi, tealam sarupe, sadayang kasange, apangam devute. Then back to the karate chop on my end. Chatara chakara bhogate, suyamba sapang sare beta sare bajugate, tukalam pranasi, tealam sarupe, sadayang kasange, apangam devute. Chatara chakara varati, chatara chakara bhogate, suyamba sapang sare beta sare Okay, my intuition has me go into the eyebrow point. So it's exactly where it sounds, just on the outside of the eyebrow. So normally where we focus at the third eye point, just to the side of that, closer to the eyebrow instead of the middle. All right, so my intuition wants me to go through all the points apparently. So on the outside of the eye, and it's exactly like it sounds, it's just on the outer edge of the eye. Just gonna tap firmly there, not aggressive. It's just a firm tap. Okay, and then under the eye, right on the bone underneath the eye. Relax your shoulders, she says to remind herself. Okay, and then we're going to tap underneath the nose, that little divot underneath our nose. We're going to tap on that spot. Okay, and then my intuition has me go into the crown of my head, and it's exactly where it sounds. And you can just tap with all fingers on the crown of the head. This is not the order I was taught, but this is where my intuition is guiding me. So I'm going to go ahead and follow it. Okay, and then the chin point just under the mouth, that little divot in the chin. Okay, perfect. So go ahead and inhale nice and deep, exhale nice and full. Okay, and then we're just gonna sit here, silent reflection, 5 minutes. Just notice any shifts, any bumps, any challenges. Notice what's going on in your body. Notice how you feel emotionally, mentally, anything that's vying for your attention right now. Just be present with it. Don't get lost in the story. Just here to be awareness. And I am doing this in silence. Feel free to use the mantras if you prefer. That helps you connect more deeply. My avatar's frozen. Okay. And if nothing's coming up, you can ask yourself if there's even one shift that you've noticed or one challenge that you've noticed. Or even maybe look at where it hasn't worked. That's also going to be helpful. Or you don't feel it's worked. And again, just notice how that feels in your body. Last 25 seconds for anyone that's starting to spin out with taking time for yourself to integrate, to simply be with where you are now. Breathe through it. We're almost done. Inhale, exhale. You are worth taking this time for. Inhale, exhale. Okay, perfect. So now we're going to be using Adgurena. So go ahead and grab that if you don't already have it up and ready. I'm going to offer the two options here. One of the things I'm noticing is that my segues are not very graceful. I don't know if that they've ever been graceful, and maybe I'm just more aware of how kind of disjointed they feel. Either way, I'm just rolling with that. That's just going to be part of what I'm doing. Sort of like my avatar's mouth moving, but the overall rest of her isn't. Kind of how my segues feel, or my awareness of them, I should say. So we have two options for Adgurena. Now you are welcome to try both of them, see which, if either, resonate with you. Okay. First one is to simply sit and listen to the mantra itself. Second one is going to be a Kundalini yoga style meditation, one of which I've been doing for 300 days now straight. Okay, so you're going to bring your hands into prayer pose. Left thumb's going to go over right. Now that's if you want to focus on the feminine. If you're looking to balance out your masculine, bring your right thumb over your left. Okay, so here it's going to be a preference. Play around with that as well if you're unsure. If one way feels more solid, feels more aligned, please follow that. I'm focusing on building up my more feminine aspects, so I'm holding left over right. Going to bring that to heart center. And then we're simply going to be raising the arms up to 60 degrees and back. Okay, so that's the movement that's going to keep, that we're going to sustain here. Okay, so from heart center, Ad Gurena Me, your arms go up to 60 degrees. Jugad Gurena Me, you bring your hands back to heart center. And you will be doing this along with the mantra. Okay, I'm just going through it a little bit quicker than we actually will when going with the music. It's going to be slower. Sat Gurena Me, go from heart center up and out 60 degrees. Siddhi Guru Deve Name. We're going to bring the palms back to heart center. Okay. And then I'll do one, I'll guide one or two rounds just so you can find um, your rhythm, your pace, right? And then I'll go ahead and just let the mantra take over, no talking needed. And like I say, try both ways, sitting and just listening, and then give the the additional meditation a try if your intuition guides you to, okay? Please don't feel pressured to do one or the other simply because I'm saying that's what I'm doing. Just a recommendation. Okay. And everything pulled up here. Okay. Hands at heart center is what I'm doing. Feel free to just sit and listen. And yeah, the intro is a bit long. Part of why I like it. Get a chance to settle in. Let whatever needs to bubble up, bubble up. Okay, bring the arms up to 60 degrees. Back to heart center. Out to 60 degrees. Back to heart center. Out to 60 degrees. Back to heart center. Nice and slow. No rush. Out to 60 degrees. Back to heart center. And then find your own rhythm. Find your own pace. Perfect. So bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, hold the breath, pull the root lock. Exhale your hands and arms back to 60 degrees. As you exhale, inhale with your arms still extended. Hold the breath, pull the root lock. Exhale the hands back to heart center. We're going to do that 2 more times for anyone who'd like to follow along. If not, just feel free to do the breathing, the pranayama with your hands in your laps. Okay, so we inhaled our hands back. Okay, I've lost myself. So we're just going to roll with that. Inhale the arms back to 60 degrees. Hold the breath, pull the root lock. Exhale the hands back to heart center. Inhale back out to 60 degrees. Inhale, hold the breath, pull the root lock. Exhale the hands back to heart center. We're going to hold the breath out. Hold the breath out. Pull the root lock. All right, inhale. Shake out your hands. Bring them into your lap, on your knees, and Gyan Mudra if you prefer. Take a couple deep breaths here. Last time. Rub your palms together. Eyes still closed or gaze still softened. Either way is fine. Hands to heart center. We're just going to tune out with one long sat nam. Inhale to begin. Sat nam. Sat nam. Thank you so much for joining me on day 3. I hope you found this helpful. I hope you noticed some shifts. Feel free to leave any comments that you feel comfortable sharing. And I will see you next time.